All right, what's going on, guys? Okay, so today we are taking some more swings. The NQ is on a complete craziness tear. I've had the harder time trading it today. I don't know why. Probably because I was trading through these levels right in here, and probably shouldn't have been. But now we're just getting highs after highs after highs. You can see, for the last 10 plus minutes or so. When was it? 7:19 and we're at 7:30. So for 11 minutes, we've had nothing but green candles. It's kind of crazy because Tesla was dropping so bad at the open. Let's see where Tesla is at now. Tesla's still, it's not even at view app. So, even with Tesla jumping down as much as it did today, the NQ is still going nuts. Definitely some some crazy bullish action here. I don't even know what to think of this. Just when going this much. We were doing our evaluation. We did have a nice trade up in here where we made a little bit of profit. This put us up $300 in our evaluation of our goal of 2,000. But we did take a little bit of an L right here because basically we got into at this high and it started to pull back, and I was scared of a flush after this many green candles. But you can see we're still continuing to run. That's okay. We're still up 146.40 in our evaluation. And oh my gosh, look at this. This is just going nuts. Let's go ahead and take a quick position here on TOS paper, and you can see this is what I've been struggling with, is that I'm getting filled near the high of these candles, and in order for this to actually work out, it's got to continue to rip. And yeah, I mean, without having any pullbacks all of this time, this is what I've been dealing with, and this is why I've been having issues with actually making profit on this. So we did make profit on that. I don't know why this went back to one share. Let's get it back up to 2 lots, 2 contracts. And you haven't quite figured out. So we're using StreamYard today. You can probably see the little like duck up in the corner. So we're trying this out. Hopefully this will help with our lag issue that we were experiencing yesterday. I have not quite figured out how to make it to where I can share. Let's get rid of that. And that stops sharing the screen. I haven't quite figured out how to make it to where I can just share the window and get the audio. It's kind of weird. So this is where we're at, and we're in our evaluation. I don't know what to do with this. I just because of this many green candles in a row. I mean, this is just insanity. I mean, look at this. We're at 12,324. We're all the way up at. I mean, that's $100. $100 movement in the NQ is just insane, and we're still continuing to hit these highs. It's like we're so far extended off the view app, and yet, I mean, we're in the exact same position that we were at yesterday. Where it just keeps going and going and going, and where does this end? I mean, on the on the TTM, we're at a 48. I've never even seen that on the NQ. Never seen a 48 on the NQ. At most it's like 15 on the TTM. I've just never seen anything this bullish in the last 2-3 months that I've been trading futures. Take a quick position on TOS paper, and this is what's going on. Like I keep like taking these positions, getting filled at the high, and then getting that pullback, and I'm scared of that flush, especially because of there's this much extension. Yeah, I don't know if that's the definition of frothy, but it kind of feels sketchy at the bare minimum. Where does this flip over? And I think that's something that we have to be aware of, because if we pull out on just pulling out on the day here, I mean, look at that tear, just so intense. That's so. We finally got our first red candle after what, 15 minutes? That's just insanity. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. It's paper, so it's okay. We're basically just using this for training. But Hey, what's going on, man? Good morning. Good morning. Myself, I'm still like getting used to. I'm still getting used to using StreamYard. I switched over to this today, trying it out. Obviously, there's the branding. We're on the basic plan. Just checking this out. How do I say your name? Is it Abu Shat? Ab, Abu Shat? I don't know. Good morning. Good morning. Happy to be here. All right, let's jump back into. Let's see what we got going on. Boom. I'm just playing with some of these. Okay, so we get that 1 minute pullback, and we're still continuing to see highs ripping up on the NQ. Taking another small position here, having a hard go of it today. Just because I don't know, when it's going this bullish, this much, this often for this long, it's becomes difficult to read. We pull this out. Look at that extension. Look how far away this is extended from the volume weighted average price. Look at that. I mean, that's an entire range of multiple days normally to see that much movement. So definitely very crazy on that. We're up $70 in this trade or so. I'm just gonna flat it right there. I think we ended up flat actually on the trade, getting out of market. Yeah, so there's got to be a way for me to. Nice trades Monday. Yeah, Monday I was up over a K. Monday I was up 1,275 was actually where I ended up the day on there. And yesterday we ended up. I'm trying to think. Yesterday I think we actually ended the day around up 500. Although at one point in time we were up 970 on the day yesterday. And in our evaluation we were up 213 yesterday. We were up 305 on it today, but we did take an L of about $150. Like I said, just when it's this high up. By the way, thank you so much for commenting and that you were here on Monday. Man, I appreciate that. Um, you know, when it's this extended, it becomes sketchy. I for one tend to like to follow things that are a little bit more rhythmic in terms of their patterns. Um, but when this did pull back, this bounced like right off the 200 moving average, really really well. Came up through the VWAP, pulled back down near the VWAP, and had this a bit of a consolidation, bounce right off the 9 EMA. That's that yellow line there, and then just went insane, insane. Just I don't know, man. I don't even know what to think of it. It's crazy to me. Um, I'm trying to figure out a way where I can manage comments without having to swap back and forth between the video and. There we go. Maybe I could do it with my iPad. Yeah, that is good money, dude. Um, that's just crazy, man. Like to think that you can make $1,200 in a day trading the NQ. I mean, it's almost unfathomable in that regard. Just like wow, okay, so $1,200, you could like pay your rent in a day, or pay your mortgage payment or whatever the case is. So okay, so we're getting so we got this high. We pulled back down here. Now here's the Q. the question, not the Q. Um, here's the question: does this turn into a head and shoulders pattern, and does this begin to fall over uh, for some consolidation and some pullbacks to what I would consider a point of sanity, um, or do we continue to rip? So this is an area that I think that we're going to see some tests. If we look at the TTM, we're seeing some pullback here. Although, like I said earlier in the stream, I've never seen the TTM hit this high of number on the NQ. in the 3 months or so that I've been trading it. Um, so pulling back on TTM to 43, yeah, like 42. I think that we're at least bare minimum, hopefully, going to get like a 5 minute pullback. I think that would be reasonable to think, and I think that would be reasonable in terms of covering some of this extension. We might take a short position here for like, see if we get a little scalp on it. And it's yeah, I don't like that. We're out. And you can see easy come, easy go as with trading. Um, Down a grand on the day in TOS paper. It looks like we still might get this fall over. So probably should have kept that position, but that's okay. We've come back from places like this. I've actually been down 3K before, and then ended up profitable on the day. So it's still possible. I try and make sure that I keep my losses small, and just keep my wins bigger. You don't have to win every trade. You just have to make sure that your accuracy is there. Hopefully in the 70 to 80% range, about your accuracy of whether or not you're profitable on that trade, and make your wins bigger than your losses. It's really, really important. So okay, I'm gonna take a small short there, and man, I'm just having a hard time reading the candles today. It's a good thing that this is actually why I practice paper a lot more heavily than I do in my eval, because there are some days where I just struggle to read the candles, and I end up getting in the highs, and watching it go back down, and then getting in the lows, and then watching it go the other direction. I sometimes just go in the wrong direction each time. So you have to know where your edge is, and you have to know, when you're not in your edge. So we're down 1,200 on the day now, and I do think that we're going to get this fall over, but I'm definitely more on the bearish side of things, just because it's been so. Now, when I say bearish, I don't mean bearish overall. I just mean bearish for the next like few candles. But I could be wrong. I'm gonna switch to a 15 or a 10 ticker. Yeah, why not? We'll do a 10. Taking a quick long there. It could be over trading too. That's something I try and make sure that I manage, but it's difficult, especially for me. I can get bored easily. Do I prefer the ND over the ES? Yes. I prefer the NQ. The NQ is normally what I trade. So I pretty much almost exclusively trade the NQ, and the reason why is because for if you look here, the tick size, each tick value is $5 per contract. So if I take two contracts, that's $10 for every tick, and it's 25 cents for a tick. So if it goes up $1, I make $40. So I really like that. Just but the risk is there too. There's just as much risk as there is reward. So the biggest thing is making sure that like I said, make sure that you're keeping your L's small. Let's see if we're gonna get another test of these highs here. Yeah, I have an incredibly small account. Um, honestly, when it comes to, there we go, that's $200 back. When it comes to my stock trading account, which we did actually quite well in stocks today, made about $65. I think it's pretty decent for my small account in stocks. Futures, I'm trading a paper trading account. So this is not real money on this particular Thinkorswim thing. On my Tradeovate account here, this is an evaluation, and I'm using Elite Trader Funding in order to work on evaluating my account. So what happens is they give you, you have a bunch of different packages you can choose from. I went with the static evaluation, which is I prefer static evaluations myself. So we get this U-shaped breakout pattern here. So we got this kind of like cup and handle thing, and then hit this red marker and then popped up. So we did get a red candle, red upwick on the high there, but it is bouncing. Doesn't seem like it mattered too much. So I'm using an evaluation account, looking at getting funded in a prop firm. How that works is basically if you follow all their rules and make all your trades over a period of time, they'll give you an evaluation, and if you pass it without breaking any of their rules, then they'll actually fund you with that amount of money, and you can trade using their money. So this is really great if you have a smaller account set up.
Order filled.
Okay, we took two contracts there, the NQ, and I gotta cut it.
Order filled.
Yikes. Okay, so that puts us down in our evaluation, unfortunately. We're still up. Of course, we get the run back. We're still in the game on that, but I think I need to. Oh, man. So we're getting this test of these highs again, but we got this cooling off in the TTM. I think I just need to be really, really careful when it comes to. Man, I really should have held that. I think I'm going to hold through this pullback on this one. Really weird movement today. I'm kind of used to like when it rips, it rips, and when it dumps, it dumps. And yeah, I've been really struggling on this one today. Okay, so made 200 back on that one. So now we're down 720. Yeah, definitely got to be vigilant with your learning, dude. I mean, this is 3 months in the making here, and I'm still learning every single day. Obviously, not every day is a winner, but I think that it's possible to work through these L's, and so long as you have more wins than losses or bigger wins than losses, you're fine. It's like, where's the entry point, I keep like entering like right as it surges, and then it just falls back. It's very, very frustrating. This TTM's fallen down quite a bit. Where are we at now on it? 22. I don't know if a long is where I want to be right here. But still pushing highs. Okay. How much time I got left on this candle? Okay, that's actually about over. Should have a new candle forming. So we get this 1 minute pullback on the high. And looks like we're going to continue to pull back some. I'm going to cut it right there. Might go up, but yeah, I figured.
Order filled. Order filled.
Okay, just made $100 back on our eval. Now we're only down $12 on it. We're down $224 on the day, though, unfortunately, because we were up when we started the eval today, and now we're slightly down on the eval. That's okay. Switching back to cyan on the TTM, showing us a little bit more bullish action. Wow, this is just incredible. Taking another trade here at the top. I'm gonna flat out, just get our $50 back. I'm gonna start taking just really small scalps, just because it's so high up. Try and get in that little mini pullback. There we go. We got it. Okay, so that's 50 back. I'm gonna switch to a 5 tick here. 3, 2. There's 5 all the way down at the bottom. All right, so here's where we're at. Okay, so we ended up losing so far about $225 in our evaluation. We are still in the game, and we're basically at the break even, like where we're at the start. So we started the day up 213 and lost a total of 225. So we're basically break even on our evaluation. We are down in TOS. We're down 820. I do think that we can pull this back. Yeah, this thing's starting to rip. Take a quick position here. I do think that we can pull this back today, but I want to make sure that we're careful in the process. Now, we're not over trading with this bullish action. I think it's really easy to get excited and get tripped up by this. So, like, even that, like, look how just frothy this is. There we go. Okay, so that's 40 back. And we got a red on the high. I really just think that I need to wait for a reversal in the NQ. I don't even know if we're going to get it. But I think that... Oh, you didn't even get to see that last trade. It's got to be running into resistance by now. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It's just like it's way too many greens, you know. It's just, yeah, it's just way too many greens. I don't know, this many greens in a row, and that much that much extension. I mean, look at that. Like, that's so far away, and the VWAP is running up with it, but not very fast. You know, I think this consolidation right in this area was helpful. We'll have to see if we get another consolidated area here, and then whether or not we move over. But I think that this thing honestly needs to form like a head and shoulders pattern and reverse trend for a little while. I think that we need to go to the downside in order to come back up to the upside, if that makes any kind of sense. But like if we were to pull back, say to like here, like this level, like maybe like 12,420 or like 12,400 or something like that. If we were to pull back to this area, I think I would feel more confident and see the patterns a little bit more clearly, especially if the VWAP ran up with it. As it is right now, you know, when this 50 crossed over this 200 right here, we, in my opinion, officially entered into bullish territory. And this can be an incredibly powerful move when this 50 crosses over the 200, as you're seeing right now, and vice versa. If the 50 crosses under the 200, then you know, it can also be an equally powerful move. So Yeah, it might pass 12,500. We'll see. I mean, I think it could. We're at 12,481. I mean, that's not just another $20. Not a far cry, far fetched, whatever. I mean, we're already up 150 some odd dollars or something in that range. So yeah, I could see that happening. The I mean, it's up 1.6% on the day. That's huge for something that's $12,000, per contract. So might take a maybe. Okay, looks like we're getting some pullback here. I don't know. It still feels too risky right now to take trades. Yeah, it feels a bit risky at the moment, just where it's at. Um, I wonder if it'll pass that 12,500 mark, and I think that if it does, I think that the bullish action that we're going to see is market wide is going to be really really intense, honestly. And this likely is going to have. I mean, this is going to have a huge effect on a bunch of other stocks. Really, just the market as a whole. Even with this pullback, I mean, look, it's just pulling back to this like support resistance level right here. I'm going to call it support just because it's currently above it, but every support is also resistance. Depending on where you're at, like essentially this would be support and this would be resistance, and vice versa. This is also support and then resistance as well. Okay, so we're getting we got a flag on the play. Took a 10 ticker. And we're up 7 ticks. Okay, so we took about $30 profit on that one. Actually, we ended up like $10 because we were 770. So the market actually, our market order only ended up like that. Where are we at here? 5 ticks. It's a sketch right now. I feel like trading a lot of times is just a waiting game, like you just end up waiting for moves for what feels like a really long time sometimes. This honestly looks like it wants to rip again. Take a small position. Just trying to take these like $100 scalps. Got this doji on the bottom here. On the bottom of this flag. This is kind of like running right there. I'm just going to put this at like, oh, okay. Well, there we go. So $70 up on that one. Man, I felt like that was going to get a little rip up. Should have taken that in trade of 8.
Order filled. Order filled.
Okay, cool. So we got $50 back there in trade of 8. So now we're up $30 in our evaluation. Not quite as being good as up as at 213 on the day, but hey, whatever. Okay, so we're getting another test of these highs. I think you're right, man. It may hit 12.5. That hit almost like exactly. There it is. So this looks like our next rip area. I'm going to take a small position in trade of 8.
Order filled.
Ooh.
Order filled.
Big turnaround on that. Oh, wow. I cut that position quick. Gratefully so. Probably shouldn't have taken it to begin with. This is actually what I was afraid of, is essentially that it would do like hit that high and then look at that pullback. Yikes. That's a big pullback. Take a quick short here, see if that plays out the way we want it to. All right. Now we're seeing the trend reversal, I think, at the very beginning of it. So, this is where we'd be looking to start going short. Not yet, even though we just took that quick short position. But with that, essentially, when it has that big rip up, this is like shorts covering, and then you got this big rip down, and you can see the candle size is almost the exact same size, a little bit larger on the red. This to me looks like we're gonna start seeing that sell off happening, and it's not ready yet in order for me to really trade it and trade evade the way I want to. I'm a little sketched out to go to pick any direction here, but it does look like head and shoulders. And so with it looking like that, so you had this this first little run here, then this pullback, then a big run, and then this pullback, and then another big run, and then we hit this high. And now you can see we're kind of getting that head and shoulders pattern. So our next look here would likely be in this range around this support line. So 12,430. So maybe a loss of about $30 on the total price of the NQ. That's where I would think that we'd be looking at next. Yeah, I think it's overextended as well. That's where I'm thinking it is. You can see I'm using my phone for comments. I'll probably set up my iPad when we do our next stream. I'm still learning on the stream side of things. We're always learning though, right? In life, we're just endlessly learning. Taking a short position right here. And we were up 70 a second ago. Looks like it's getting a bit of a pullback. I think I need to be taking smaller positions, or rather looking for smaller tick sizes. Switch to like 5. Because we've had several trades that were right in terms of hitting like 7 ticks. But then, they're turning around on us, ones that hit about 7 ticks or so. I do still think this one will work out, which is why I haven't cut it yet. There we go. All right. So down 540 on the day. We were down 1240. So hey, we came back $700. Not bad. Take another short here. There we go. There's another 50 or $60 back. Okay. Now I feel a little more confident here to take a short position.
Order filled. Order filled.
Okay, so there's 50 back on our eval. Well, after fees, it's like 40, 41.28. Gonna switch this to 26. This is the reversal I was hoping for earlier. Honestly, I think it should have happened a lot earlier, but All right. I wish they would these would just be in order, but they kind of move around. It's weird. Taking a short here, going for 20 ticks on this one. Hopefully it's not one that gets covered after that big red, but it looks like it might be. And music stopped, so let's go ahead and get the music going again. Boom. I don't know why. Okay, looks like we got that trade. We did get that 20 ticks. So now we're down 280 on the day. Okay. This looks like it's getting covered here. Got this hammer candle. So that head and shoulders pattern did end up playing out, and we are getting more and more bearish action, which is what we need, honestly. Take a short
Order
right there.
filled.
Probably should have taken that short earlier. I was contemplating it, and I contemplated a little too long, I think. Currently down in this trade. Cutting it right there.
Order filled.
Okay, got some profit back. Still down $96 or so, and some change in our eval. But I'm glad I cut that where I did, because you can see it kind of came back a little bit. So, but I do think this is going to continue to drop, which is what it needs. It needs to drop. That's perfectly normal and perfectly fine. I think that when stocks or futures or anything else just continues to go up and up and up and up and up, be weary. What's that saying? When everyone's greedy, be fearful, and when everyone's fearful, be greedy. I think Warren Buffett said that. All right, take a short here, hopefully near the top of this candle. Might have been a mistake though. Yeah, I'm actually going to flat out of that. So that's a loss of 150 on COS paper. And the reason why I flat out of that is because, so with these indicators here, the 9, 12, the 26, I've seen on many occasions where these get close to a crossover, indicating bearish or bullish action. If this was to cross, if the 912 was to cross below 26, it turn bearish. And I've seen several times throughout the last few years trading futures and stocks and crypto, that a lot of times it'll bounce here instead of doing the action where it would normally go down. So that's why I flatted out of that. I probably shouldn't have taken the position to begin with, but life is always 2020. Okay, so if we get this cross here, this 26 over the 12 and 9, then we're definitely going to see some bearish movement, hopefully back towards the view app, or at least back towards the 50. There's the move I was anticipating. That was the original intention with this last candle here. Going short there. I was hoping to get a better entry. I was hoping to get the entry that was like in the middle of the candle. And maybe we don't want to go 200 ticks. Maybe we want to go like 12 ticks. We're so close to that cross. There's the cross. Okay. We get the cross. There it goes. Gosh. Give me a heart attack over here.
Order
short. Go, go, go. Drop, drop, drop. Drop, drop, drop. Drop. Okay, we're not getting it. We're cutting that.
Order filled.
Whew, hard day today. Hey, what's up, Crypto Raf? Glad to see you, man. Tough day today, dude. Like, just I mean, as much as it's going, well in terms of the market, it's still challenging. Just getting these scalps. Because honestly, by all accounts, I mean that should have dropped with the 1226 like that, and the 9, and the TTM. With every indicator pointing that we're towards a downward trend here, and with the pattern showing up as head and shoulders here, by all accounts, that should have dropped a little bit more, a little faster, at least down to like the 35 here, this blue line. And there's the drop. Unfortunately, I had to cut it and take that L, but it seems like it's almost like finding support here. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles, where it's finding this support here at this 12,450. There's the drop, a little bit of it, but like look how much it like convicts and comes back. And I said perhaps a bounce off the blue line. Look at that, literally tapped the blue line, came right back. But like we were talking, I mean, with that extension that it had, the VWAP has come up quite a bit from when we were talking earlier, but it does still feel extended. I think it needs to pull back to about like 12,400, like right in this range. In all honesty, but it looks like I don't know. It looks like we may or may not get that. The pattern looks like a head and shoulders, so the pattern really looks like it would be falling down now at this point. But the support and resistance has just been more than expected. Where are we at? Negative 13, 14 on the TTM. Like, look at how well that's getting bought up right there. I'm gonna actually move this up to like right there. Okay. Got to pull back to the 35, and it's bouncing off that 35 again. I love the 35 EMA. It's really, really helpful in determining bullish and bearish action. If the 35, this one here, happens to go above the 26, this white one, the 26 SMA, that indicates like longer term bullish momentum a lot of the time. And if this 35 happens to get above the 9 and the 12 here, that indicates more bearish. So it's really helpful in terms of just figuring out which direction momentum is going to go. And right now we're kind of in a period of consolidation. Down 290 in TOS. We were down 1240, so we made back almost $1,000 on this so far. And I'm gonna take a quick short here, see if we get that. I probably shouldn't have. With as much support as this has had, I probably shouldn't be going short here, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that. So that puts us down 430 from 290. Kind of going back and forth, man. It's been a challenging day for scalping for me. I don't know. Somebody else might see this as really easy, but there's a quick long right there. Looking for a push up. We got this possible crossover here. And we got the TTM turning yellow. So that could indicate that we did consolidate here and that we could be pushing back up, which would be crazy, in all honesty. If we, yeah, guess not. And there you go. We're at 290. Now we're at negative 840, and that's how fast this can go against you. So it's really, really, really sketchy to say the least. But we're still up on the week. Monday we were up 1,275. Tuesday we were up about $500-600. So being down 840 a day, you know, um, we're still doing all right, and we're still getting this bounce. Okay, so we did break below the 35. Let's see what happens after the next candle, but we're 15 seconds or so to the next candle. Let's see if this is actually a break below the 35, because it is kind of bouncing, but the 9 and 12 and the 26 are all much further away. So this is going to indicate that we are potentially falling over. It's taking forever, though. We're streaming a little bit longer than we normally do today, just because it's just kind of, I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. Okay, so seeing some people cover off of that big red candle, and we did get the bounce at 35. I mean, it's really, really, really respecting that 35 as a support level. Look at that rip. Just ripped up like $15, $13. That's a lot. Okay, possible crossover, tapping in. Nine's still below the 12. So how you guys doing out there, man? We've taken quite a few trades today, and it's definitely been a more challenging buy the dip. Yeah, it's been a really, really challenging day, man, for me. When things just rip and rip and rip, or just dump and dump and dump, um, essentially when something is just endlessly going in one direction, to me, I just start getting confused. I'm like, what's gonna happen here? Like it takes the pattern out of everything. And you just see things going in one direction, and it's just really easy to sort of get in that mindset of like, oh, if I just buy here, I'll just keep on going. Um, and to me, I get like so sketched out over that. But this definitely, I mean, this pullback that happened for as long as it did, um, and held in this area, like I said, it looks like Head and Shoulders when you look at it that way. Like, here's the head, here's shoulder one, and this would have been shoulder two, but it didn't really do that. It almost is putting in like this really long bull flag. Let's check out the 5-minute chart and see what that looks like. Yeah, so on the 5-minute chart, the TTM still cyan, still showing bullish. It doesn't look bad on a 5-minute chart. I don't know. Might buy the dip. Let's do it. Let's buy the dip. Let's go for 50 ticker. I don't think it's ready for that kind of rip, but I took your advice. I bought the dip. No, I recognize. No advice. But I do think that we could actually get a rip here. TTM's been consolidating, getting nicer and nicer. We get this possible crossover happening. Pull out to like there. Jumping over to trade of 8. And got a little bit of a rejection at the same levels that we've been getting those rejections at, but it came right back. Ooh, look at that. Look at them fly. And huge pullback. Whoa. Such a huge pullback on that candle. Just violently ripping the other direction. There it is. Now we're down to grand again. Huzzah! Easy come, easy go. That's trading for you. But man, that was a nice rip on that candle. And just to get rejected hard, really hard, give people some false hope. Take it all away. What do you think market makers are actually saying here? All right. Here's a cue. Put in the chat what you think market makers are saying to themselves right now. Just a quick question. Are they like, we're going to give them some false hope, and then we're going to take it all away? I don't know why they sound like Batman to me, but, you know. I listened to this interview from this market maker dude, and he was like, he refused to show his face. It was all like his voice was distorted, you know, like they're like, he's like in the silhouette type thing, like he's on like 2020 or 60 Minutes or something like that. He's like, we would manipulate the stocks to go any direction. We would call the billionaires, and they would place their orders long before the market opened. And you know, like he kind of disclosed all this crazy stuff about market makers. It was really, really cool and very insightful. I listened to that probably a year and a half ago, and it gave me a different perspective on the market, to say the least. So what do you think market makers are saying to themselves right now? Yeah, it is a struggle, man. When it's sideways action, it's really difficult to know where it's going to go. Um, you can see I stay like really zoomed into my charts. So with the TCM, I mean, it's getting closer and closer to a switch. You know, we went from 7 to 5 to 4. So it's getting closer and closer to a bullish switch, but we've got these red dots here that are indicating don't enter a position. And it's bounced off this 35 like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So it's respected that 35. You made 35 plenty of times here, but it, you know, it's just in a sketch position. I mean, do you go long? Do you go short? Do you do nothing? I feel like you just wait on the sidelines right now, and that's a big dump. Probably should have entered before that position. Okay, is that head and shoulders finally playing out? It's like so long. Bounced off the 50, so we could just continue to see like sideways action for a really long while. If this bounces off the 50 like it just did, this green candle needs to stay smaller than this red one in order to keep this trend reversal. We still got 30 some odd seconds on here. Now the 35 may become resistance, but then, you know, it's within this narrow range between the 35 and the 50 that could act as a catalyst for pushing the trend reversal to the downside. With the TTM getting so close to switching over to bullish, it's really, really difficult to know which direction this thing's going to go. Flatted out of that position. Honestly, been not trading well today. It's all good. Win some, you lose some. I heard that my whole life. But that doesn't make it right. I won't get copyright strike for singing, will I? Singing other people's music. That's some Big Sean. Y'all into that. I'm a music nerd. So. Alright, got another possible crossover here. And it's just been riding this this 12,450 level for a while. I feel like we've been watching this for like an hour. Took a bunch of, probably considered them to be boredom trades, really. All right, so now we're sitting at -2 on the TTM. It does look like we're going to switch to bullish, though. The 9, this yellow line here, crosses over that 12. We're definitely going into bullish territory. I say definitely. Nothing's ever definite. Pull back. TTM is now at almost at 0. Just switch to cyan. Oh, come on. All right. Gonna take a long. How much time we got left on this? 30 seconds or so. It could just reject here. I'll wait for another. Okay, so 9, 12, 26 cross and 3 on the TTM. It could just completely reject hardcore here. But my guess is this is a 1 minute pullback before a little bit of a rip. Definitely some indecision. That was a nice rip. All right.
Order filled.
Join the bid there. Come on. Up you go. Up, up, up. Rip, rip.
Order
right.
filled.
There we go. That's $150 back on our evaluation. Whew. Tough day. All right. We're up 350 in this trade, 400 now, 430. I wish I could just set a trailing stop loss like while it's in motion, while it's in play. Okay, so we made $500 back on that one. Honestly, that would have been dope to have taken that in our evaluation account, but I'm hesitant to be that bullish, that intense with my moves. So we could get a big pullback after a rush like that. So this is where we want to like wait and see for a second. So you almost got an ABCD pattern in that form with this. So you get the A here, and this would be kind of like the B, and then the C, and then here's the D. And with the ABCD pattern, the best way to do it is to ride the D. Take what you will from that. Did Arnold Schwarzenegger just fill your order? I don't know, man. Hey, what's up? What's up, Pawn? Good to see you, brother. I don't know. I know Arnold Schwarzenegger's like in a controversy right now because I guess on the set of End of Days he like farted in the face of one of his co-stars, like just straight up like ripped a huge fart like directly in her face. In some scene where he was like trying to kill her. So oh sorry, the socials unalive her. Okay, so this looks decent for a long, but I don't know about 50 ticks. Let's just do like a trailing stop. Let's see what happens. Nah, I don't want to do that. Let's go to 10 ticks, buy market. Switch over to our Trade of 8. And let's jump to 7 ticks. Okay, so that did work out here. Made $100 back. Here's that pullback I was talking about. This is what I was waiting for. So I was waiting for that big rip down. Because essentially you got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green candles. A pullback is necessary, I think. So, all right. How's the day going for me, Pun? It has been a struggle. It's been a bit of a challenge. So today the NQ has just been ripping on an insane. Like we had like 15 green candles in a row. It was just nuts. And so trying to scalp in between that is pretty difficult. I mean, it just seems, when you're looking at 2020, it's easy to just, should have just gone long. But a lot of those things didn't have the conviction that we were looking for in the time frame that we had them. So that's where we're at today. But we've been doing all right. We were down 1,240. Brought it all the way back down to being down 290, and then went negative 1310, and so it's just been hectic. As far as the evaluation goes, we started the day up 213. We're currently down 144 on the eval. So for those that don't know, I'm doing a evaluation with Elite Trader Funding. You can join Elite Trader Funding, and there's a link in the description, obviously. And with Elite Trader Funding, even if you have a small account, you can actually earn funding in futures trading and start trading with their money, which I think is awesome. So we did get this red candle followed by the nice green. It did fill to like the exact size, so that's why I'm not going to position. If this had been a 1 minute candle to make a new high, and even though it kind of did on the wick, I'm looking at the close of the candle when it comes to that 1 minute candle to make a new high. So right here, where it basically retraced the entire thing. Okay, so if this one were to close above this wick, then we're definitely entering into a really strong bullish movement. Take it along right there. Should have gone for a better entry. Should have joined the bid instead of market. Pull back here.
Order filled. Order filled.
Okay, just made 7 ticks back on our evaluation. So now our eval, we're just down about $73. Not bad. Made $100 back here, so we're up down 610. Sorry. And now we're making new highs on the NQ. What the actual F? Wow! This is just insanity. Insanity! The Princess Bride, man. The cliffs of insanity! I hope that's not like coming through like super distorted. Oh, man. Yeah, you didn't trade the SPY, man? Saw that 396 resistance. Yeah, it went short there. Yeah, dude, it's been a wonky day. I think we got filled way too close to the highs, frankly. But look at that. Look at that U shape. I mean, it's like just this long ABCD. This took forever, dude. What was this? 7:59. It's like 8 o'clock that this turned over, and it went all the way to like 8:30 to actually form that pattern. Oh, dude, I probably should have cut this. I absolutely should have cut this. Look at that pullback. That was a loss of $600. Huzzah. We did get that pullback though, and that kind of does help with the extension, but I still think this is extended. I mean, look at the VWAP down here at 12,350. I mean, we're up $100 off that VWAP. I mean, that's a long way away from the volume average price. That's really far. I gotta get my iPad up here. Be easier to manage these comments. Like to be able to read the comments and stuff. I got my phone on here so I don't have to keep switching screens. Maybe I need a second monitor. What do y'all think? All right. Still continuing to pull back some. Kind of surprised it didn't push for that 12.5. Probably should have gone short. Just hit the reverse button right there. Take a short position here. And just looking for about 20 ticks. I don't know if we're going to get that much of a drop. Yeah, look at that getting bought back up. I may just go for any profit on here. Right in the range. All right, I made like $20. I'm just grateful that we weren't in that position for our funding account. Although, man, that would have been a dope short. Look at that. Boom. Something like $900. So what happens here? Now that we just hit new highs again, what happens? Do we turn over? Do we start going down? You know, the 35 came close to running up against the 26. I mean, that shows more and more bullish action. And, you know, the VWAP is so far away. And it's barely moving up, but it is moving up. So where do we go from here? Do we end up continuing to pump? I can tell you one thing. I think that like with the state of the economy, the way that it is, with inflation just going insanity, just absolutely nuts inflation, and which was always a given. By the way, like everybody knew it was going to happen. I mean, the moment that they started handing out, you know, printed money. I'm never going to say free money because it's not free money. There's no such thing. Um, it really should always beware the free lunch. If it's free, careful. But and that's not to say that like all free things are bad, but like there's a ton of free value on the internet. But I think that when it came to like printing money and calling it free money, I think that was inevitable that we were going to see massive amounts of inflation. I remember when they first started handing out the stimulus checks, and I turned and said to my wife, I was like, "This is going to cause a huge problem for the economy." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Dude, this is going to cause inflation so much." I'm like, "Because they're just printing money. They're just flooding the supply. This is just going to raise the price of everything. So you're getting, your $1,200 or $1,800 or whatever you're getting, but you're going to pay four times that back, and just in the overall economy." And I actually ended up reading an article like a year and a half later after they did all the endless stimulus checks. And they said that the average stimulus check that somebody received in the amount of $1,400 or something like that ended up costing them $16,800 in the long term, is what they're projecting out through like 2040. Um, it'll actually end up costing you about 16 grand off of that $1,200 or $2,400 that you received. So pretty intense. And so like when I think about that type of stuff though, and I think about like where we're at in terms of the stock market and whatnot, I just think that um, at some point everything to a large extent is going to come crashing down to, I don't think levels that were pre-pandemic necessarily, but around the pandemic levels of kind of like wherever the V-shaped recovery was. That's kind of what I'm thinking might happen eventually. Uh, and I think that a lot of these run-ups have been, in my opinion, somewhat artificial. Those are just my thoughts, though. What do y'all think? Yeah, and Pawn, I actually see the same thing in futures, man. Like around like 2 o'clock or so, we see like a big run up. Happens actually around like noon my time, so that's like 2 o'clock central, three market time. A lot of times I'll see like a big run up over the last trading hour of the day, so to speak, and I've seen it in futures hella times. Kind of like the power hour, basically. Try not to take boredom trade. All right, let's take a 5 tick boredom trade on a long. There we go. Made 5 ticks. That's another $50 back. Trying to make sure that I'm not taking boredom trades, but there are some little boredom scalps that I think that can be okay. All right. Are we forming another ABCD here? Got kind of a U shape going. A little bit of a pullback, make it a little bounce right there. Probably should have entered a little earlier. Still got 50 ticks out of it. Jumping over to trade of 8. I'll switch to 5 ticks. That's a larger pullback that I want to see. You can see like how sketchy I am when it turns like when it comes to my evaluation. I'm so much more hesitant to take trades. And this is because I've already paid for a couple of resets, and I don't want to keep paying for resets because it's $75 each time I reset, and that adds up pretty quick, and it can be really easy to lose. Okay, made another 5 ticks back. What time is left in this candle? 5 seconds. It's pretty nice U shape there, actually.
Order filled.
Took a short position or a long position here. Just looking for 5 ticks. Push up, push up. Probably gonna shut it down here in a minute. Wait for this trade to go through. Okay,
Order filled.
that's 5 ticks back. Okay, we're ever so slightly down in our eval. Probably gonna shut it down here. I'm starting to get brain fade, and I don't want to trade when I'm starting to get that brain fade. Essentially, I can only do so much trading in a day, and I think I'm kind of maxing out on my limit there. So probably gonna shut it down here. We went a lot longer than we have been. Went over an hour this time. Went an hour 16, hour 17 minutes. So with that, guys, check out. You guys want to check out Elite Trader Funding, dude. Elite Trader Funding is awesome. Show it to you here. This is Elite Trader Funding. This is what I'm using to get my valuation and to earn funding in trading. They've got everything from one-step evaluations. They've got end-of-day drawdown evaluations, and my personal favorite, they've got the static. This is the one that I'm currently doing. The static drawdown is dope. Basically, if you lose more than $625 from your 100K mark, then you fail. Everything past that, though, is just past that. There's no the drawdown doesn't move each and every day. That's one thing I really, really love about it. So essentially, if you make $1,000 in your evaluation, now you have $1,625 that you could potentially lose and still be okay on your evaluation. It's one thing I really, really like about the static drawdown evaluation. And when you earn funding with this one, you can earn 100K in funding, which is more than enough to trade the NQ and anything else in futures. And they're regulated by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. And then they got these fast track evaluations, which are also pretty dope. These are like if you're trying to get funding really, really quickly. It's a minimum of 14 calendar days. It's basically 10 business days. In all honesty, I think that they all pretty much take about the same amount of time. But these ones are cool because they do have like 1 month of free qualifiers. So they do have some specials going with these as well. And if you guys happen to sign up through my link, that'll help out the channel. That'll help the channel grow. That'll also help the channel be able to grow much, much faster, really. But I tell you what, please consider liking, consider subscribing, ring the bell, the notification bell. We are doing future trading each and every day at 7:30 Pacific time, 10:30 market time. And the reason why I'm not streaming it right at the open is because I just don't have any edge there with futures. I've really found that around 7 o'clock to 7:30 is where the futures market tends to change trends, and when there's a trend change, that's usually when I'm trying to attack those trend changes, trying to attack those reversals in the trend. So, and last but not least, guys, check out Webull. If you guys are day trading, I day trade in Webull every other day. And Webull's here, super dope program. If you guys sign up through my link in the description, you'll actually get 6 free stocks when you sign up. Which is in my personal opinion, it's pretty unheard of. When I signed up for Webull some years back, they were only giving away 2 free stocks, but the 2 free stocks I signed up for or that I received, I ended up getting like $30. So just for signing up, so, actually it was 40. So just by me starting the account, I was already up $40, which is pretty awesome. So, and one more thing, guys, on the very, very top link there, you can actually subscribe to our email list. And our email list is where we share information that we don't share anywhere else. We share lots of content that is not necessarily just trading based. We're also talking about everything from entrepreneurship to spiritual awakening, to understanding your sense of self, to developing your self will, all different kinds of things, a lot of self awareness type stuff. I've been really into personal development for a very long time. Last like 15 years or so. I used to run a coaching business a long, long time ago. And so go ahead and check that stuff out, guys. And, like, subscribe, share, do all the things, ring the bell for notifications. And we will see you guys tomorrow at 7:30. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Peace.